before we get started, take a moment to close your eyes. Like, seriously, close them. Now, think back to the Lord of the Rings, then Pirates of the Caribbean and the Avengers. Now open your eyes. Oh my god, that's exactly what you were thinking. Or well, maybe not exactly, but chances are that wasn't too far off either. Because a well-written character has the potential to stay with you for a lifetime. They can be childhood friends to entire generations, or make you empathize with people that you've never even met. They can also be really shit. Now, exactly what makes a character great is subject of endless debate, and even now there is no clear consensus. Before we get to all that though, let's first look at something about which there is much more agreement. Things that make a character suck. My name's Julian Tunru, I'm the author of the Dav Ivan historical fiction series, and this is the nearly complete guide to writing your novel. Episode 3, Characters that don't suck. Now you're probably familiar with the common trope in popcorn horror flicks. Bunch of friends in a summer house, disconnected from the world, suspicious knock on the door. What do? Well, stay the hell away, says every sane person ever, yet our heroes decide to get drunk and split up. And when they finally do get molested by a mutant seahorse, we merely shrug and move on. The reason that we've stopped caring is that from our character's point of view, there was no sensible reason to do as they did. It's a whole lot scarier when our heroes do all the right things, arm themselves with chainsaws and night vision goggles, and still get their asses handed to them. And the same principle applies to any sort of emotional response. Whether it's romance or wanderlust or friendship or anger, empathizing with our characters is a hard requirement in getting us to care. Nothing is as dull as someone destroying the universe just because, or being nauseatingly good on account of being some sort of chosen one. When we do grow to care for a bunch of words on paper, it's because we manage to get inside their heads and think as they do. They are so vivid that we're completely sucked into their mindset and their emotions start to become ours. That doesn't mean they can't have superpowers or sparkle at night, but it does mean their personality should be consistent and believable. Also, they should probably not sparkle. And the best way to go about that is to think of your characters as an iceberg. Everything above sea level is that what's on the pages of your novel. Their actions, their words, their relationships, what have you. But like in real life, not everything about a person is revealed on the surface. If your character is well developed, then there's things that you as an author know to be true, but that aren't just laid out for your readers. It might seem counterintuitive leaving things out of your novel, but because they influence how your characters behave, they still shape the things that your audience does see. Because as readers, we're really good at picking up on those sort of signs. Whenever someone behaves differently than we might have expected, we realize there's something going on beneath the surface, and we get dragged into the story trying to figure it out. Those characters feel three-dimensional to us, like they're real people, and they're one of the main reasons that we can't stop turning those pages. Now, to form this iceberg, it's good practice to consider your character outside of your novel. Rather than ask how your story needs this person to behave, wonder what would make sense from their perspective. For me, it meant an entire wiki full of articles on every single character in my novel, but if you're less of a data nerd, then a Word document or an empty notebook will work just as well. Simply write down anything you might need to know about your character, their childhood dreams, their goals in life, their relationship to their family, anything that you think is integral to shaping who they are. Now, the next time you throw them into any kind of situation, you'll find it's a lot easier to make them behave. Some courses of action start to feel natural, like with real people, whereas others might seem to be going against the grain. Rather than have to reason their behavior at every single turn, you can now simply let your characters do the work for you. And for your point of view characters, you have one more incredibly powerful tool at your disposal: words. The way you describe things from your character's eyes can have a major impact on how they come across. My own novel alternates between 6 main characters, all of whom have distinct backgrounds of their own. If they were to all encounter the same swordsman, how he's described depends on the point of view that I'm writing from. Emily, who's highborn and noble, might recognize the sigil on his standard and realize that he's an ally to her house. Raven, who's skilled as a ranger, might notice the feeble grip on his sword and wonder whether she could take him in a fight. Ivan, who's from a remote village, might simply be in awe of such a man, and only notice the scars running down his forehead. And honestly, for now, that's the best way I know how to make your characters not suck. Pretentious as it may sound, the ones that prove truly timeless in the end are those written when you sit back and let them write themselves.